New in the last 5 minutes, Turkey's Erdogan announces early presidential, parliamentary elections in the last 10 minutes. Erdogan, seeking to solidify power in Turkey, calls for early elections. Erdogan calls snap elections in Turkey mid crackdown on dissent. AKP, MHP will face defeat in snap elections, HDP co-chair Temelli says. In the last 15 minutes, Erdogan announces Turkey snap elections for June 24. Turkey to hold early elections on June 24. In the last half hour, Turkey to hold early elections on the 24th of June, says President Erdogan. Turkey's Erdogan calls for snap elections on June 24. Turkish President Erdogan declares early elections in June. In the last hour, Turkey to hold snap elections in June. Erdogan says Turkey to hold snap elections June 24. Turkey's Erdogan announces snap elections on June 24. Turkish President Erdogan declares early elections on June 24. Turkey's Erdogan calls snap elections. Turkey's Erdogan declares early elections on June 24. The latest Turkish president calls snap elections for June. In the last 2 hours, Turkey's President Erdogan announces early elections. Breaking news: Turkey to hold snap elections on the 24th of June, says Erdogan. Turkey to hold early elections in June. Erdogan says Erdogan announces snap Turkish elections in June. Turkey to hold early elections in June, says Erdogan. Turkey to hold snap elections on June 24th. Turkish stocks, lira surge after Erdogan announces early elections. Erdogan calls for early elections in Turkey. Turkey to hold early elections in June. Snap elections to be held on June 24th. Erdogan. Turkey to hold snap elections in June. Turkey most holding snap elections in the last 8 hours. Erdogan to meet with ally party officials on elections. Erdogan, saddened by allies' call for early elections earlier today. Is Turkey's opposition ready for snap elections? Yesterday, Erdogan, boss ally set to discuss MHP call for snap elections. Erdogan ally calls for early elections. CHP takes up MHP leaders move for snap elections. HDP accepts snap elections, criticizes state of emergency rule. Turkish opposition leader calls for holding early elections on August 26. CHP welcomes MHP leaders move for snap elections. IYI party, not alarmed about MHP's calls for early elections. Turkey's ruling party to evaluate call for early elections. HDP promises Kurdish slap to Erdogan's AKP as snap elections mold. Turkey's Erdogan tight-lipped on early elections. Opposition HDP is ready for early elections. Co-leader Turkey's boss Ali wants early elections. Turkish opposition MHP party calls for early elections. Turkey to consider Erdogan allies call for early elections. Turkey opposition leader calls for early elections. Erdogan constitutional change to be implemented with November 2019 elections. Lira reverses gains as Erdogan ally calls for elections. Nationalist movement party leader Devlet Bahçeli called for early elections. MHP leader Bahçeli calls for early elections to take place on August 26. Turkey's ruling party to evaluate calls for early elections. MHP calls for snap elections in August. In the last 7 days, CHP elections between democracy and one-man rule. Afghans registered to vote in long-delayed elections amid violence. Afghan president asks Taliban to take part in elections. Dostum Rabbani discuss elections, political coalition in Turkey meeting. How will young, urban people vote in Turkey's next elections? Exemplary municipalities will bring success in local elections. CHP says Gambian president's ex-party wins local elections in the last month. Azerbaijan to hold presidential elections on Wednesday. Turkey to stay in Afrin until new Syria elections. Defense minister poll observers from 46 countries to monitor Zimbabwe elections. Turkey to stay in Afrin until new Syria elections. Hungary's Fidesz-KDNP coalition wins general elections. Lebanon's elections, shake up or shake down. Erdogan tells top AK party body snap elections out of question. CHP mulls alliance in possible second round of presidential elections. Putin arrives in Ankara on first foreign trip after winning elections. Malaysia approves law banning fake news ahead of elections. CHP to hold several strategic meetings for 2019 elections. Payet, Greece, US to go through turbulence in run-up to Turkish elections. No alliance plans for local elections. AK party says social media boosted populist parties in Italian general elections. What will the local elections in Istanbul show? CHP to focus on, no, block in vital provinces in local elections. AK party, MHP may forge limited alliance in local elections. Turkey's ruling party leads in Istanbul mayoral elections. Opinion poll: Turkey's ruling AKP always prepared for elections. Erdogan said